Well, welcome to Training 3. I am Senior Sales Director Brenda Thomas, and today we are having our Training 3, which is our Advanced New Consultant Training. Congratulations to each of you for being here. And the very first thing we're going to do is introduce ourselves, and then we'll get right into the info. So, Rayanna, if you would start.
Hi, I'm Rayanna Ellen Becker. I'm from Eau Claire. I guess something I'm kind of hoping to pull out of starting this business is to try to branch out and be more comfortable doing things like the videos and things like that. I'm still a little nervous on that. And I guess just as far as something about me, I am a referral specialist for the hospital, Sacred Heart. And I will be starting a nursing program come fall.
Okay. Awesome, Rayanna. It's so good to meet you. And may I ask, when did you start your business?
March, I think it was March.
Okay, excellent. Well, welcome, congratulations. And so you're from Eau Claire, Wisconsin?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Excellent. And Mary Lou, would you introduce yourself, please? Oh, you are muted. Do you know how to unmute? I don't know if I can do it.
Sorry.
There we go. There we are. Okay.
I wanted to be quiet throughout the whole process. My name is Mary Lou. I'm from Beloit, Wisconsin. Some health problems in my life the past year. I had open heart surgery, and I had another surgery in April to fix a hole that was leaking blood that shouldn't have been leaking, and I'm getting better. I started my business the end of April. I'm real excited. I'm having my launch party tomorrow night, and Brenda's real excited.
Yes.
In fact, I think I have new people, but Brenda has the list, so I'll have to get it from her.
Yeah, congratulations, Mary Lou. We're going to have a lot of fun. And like Mary Lou mentioned, she did have open heart surgery a year ago, and then had surgery again in April. So I just applaud you so much for starting your business. And we held off on the launch party because of her heart surgery. And so here we are now doing that, and it's going to be a blast, and that is tomorrow night. So congratulations, Mary Lou, for being here. We're so excited for you.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Carly, let's meet you.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm in New Richmond, Wisconsin. I started my business, my gosh, it must have been last year around this time. Maybe April of last year. I've dealt with a lot of stuff recently, so I've kind of not been too involved, but I just recently found out about this, so I apologize. I'm multitasking a little here. Something I hope to learn from this is just how to be better with my business. Any information is good information. Did I miss anything, Brenda?
No, that's awesome, Carly. It's so good to see you. I think you started last May, and I know Carly's got 2 little ones, and you're in New Richmond, yes, and you work in Minneapolis, is that right?
Yes, and one of my stepsons just moved in March, so it's been amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's so great to see you, Carly. I'm glad you're here. And that's the thing. This is for new consultants and also seasoned consultants that want to refresh some, skills, learn some new things, move ahead in their business. So welcome. All
Thanks.
right. I know we also have Michelle Miller on today. Michelle, are you able to say hi and say a couple words about yourself? Okay.
I am. Hi, everybody. My name is Michelle. I live in Greenwood, Wisconsin. I started my Mary Kay business at the end of April. Tonight is actually my first party after my launch. And I've got 3 children. I'm married, and I own a hair salon.
Yeah.
And actually, what I want to get out of this business is to be able to empower women to feel beautiful, take care of their skin, you know, and lift everybody else up along with how Mary Kay has made me feel.
I love it, Michelle. I'm so excited for you. And like you heard, her launch party was the end of April when she signed. The day she signed, we did her launch party. And because she had decided that she was starting about 2 weeks prior, so it was perfect timing. And then she has her first party from that tonight. So congratulations to Michelle. And I love your heart where you're saying you're excited to empower women and to support them and, you know, becoming the best version of themselves and feeling better. And I know that Michelle is in love with the skincare, and that's huge. So congratulations and welcome. Okay, yay! We also have Heather Goodman on, and Heather, can you say hello? And Tiffany, I'm going to have you say hello after Heather. But yes.
Hello, my name is Heather Goodman. I'm calling in from Kentucky. I've actually been working my Mary Kay business since 2017, but here recently I've just kind of needed to go back to the basics and kind of relearn and train my mind on some things, and so that's what I'm here for today. Yeah, so I'm excited to be here. Was there anything else? I hopped on a little late.
No, I mean, if you have a dream that you'd love to come true through your Mary Kay business, we're sharing that too. And Heather, it's great to have you. I'm so excited that you're on today.
Yeah, so something that I would like to obtain with my Mary Kay business is to be better money manager. So yeah.
Well, this is the perfect place to be because we're going to talk about that today. So awesome. We also have a new consultant that just joined us. And Tiffany, if you would introduce yourself with your name, where you're from, and also a dream that you'd love to see come true through your business. And you can also share when you started as well.
My name is Tiffany Wessling, and I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. And I am hoping to be able to leave my job, which is very stressing on me. So I would like to be able to become good enough to retire from that position and continue on. And I signed up in January, but then had some health issues. So Brenda has been very patient with me. So I feel like I'm just starting, and I am.
And we did your launch party, I think the same week as Michelle's. I think it was April 30th.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
that's right. It was. So Tiffany had her launch party on April 30th. And so this is perfect timing for you to be here at Training 3, Tiffany. So congratulations. And this can be a full-time career. It can be a side hustle. You know, it can be whatever you want it to be. And that's the beauty about this business, is that it can do that for you. So we have, besides myself, another sales director on today. And so if you would take a moment, Barbie, to introduce yourself, that will be fabulous.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I'm so excited because I get to meet new people, Mary Lou and Tiffany. It's so nice to meet you. And I feel like I'm at a class reunion because Michelle Miller, Carly and I went to school with. So Carly and me, and Michelle was the class right below us. So, and it's so funny, Michelle, because I've been to, I think, multiple events with your daughter, facialing your daughter.
Yes. Yep.
Anyway, she's just beautiful. I love her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I started my business. Well, I started taking it seriously 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, a little under 5 years. And, you know, we as sales directors still have dreams too. And through my Mary Kay, we were able to have my husband switch jobs. adopt my son from China, which is very expensive to do. And then also like start saving money, which is nice to not live paycheck to paycheck, isn't it? So my dream is to have like a big house on a lake or like something like that. So yes.
Love it. And this has been so fun. You know, this is a business fun to do with friends and fun to do with people you've just met who all of a sudden become friends for life. And it's also fun to do with family. And for those of you that don't know, Barbie is my youngest sister. So I've known her entire life. And I started with Mary Kay 25 years ago. It wasn't anything I planned on. I had went to college for teaching. I grew up on a dairy farm. I'm very tomboyish. I did not wear makeup. I did not take care of my skin. I am so grateful that Mary Kay came into my life because I know my life took a totally different turn for the better. And it's been a wonderful way to live and a wonderful way to work these past 25 years. When I started, I was married with no children. And now it's been so neat to do different seasons of life. For me, when I started, we weren't rich, we weren't poor. It was just like, hey, this would be a fun way to earn some extra money and to have some fun money to do stuff with. That was kind of that, but also a way to get to know people because I had moved back to Greenwood, which I grew up in, but I'd been gone about 8 years. And as an adult, wouldn't you agree it's hard to get to know people? It's kind of awkward. You a lot of times only know your coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it was a reason to connect with people. A genuine connection, an intimate connection. I think facialing someone is about the most intimate thing you can do with someone taking their makeup off in front of you. And so I love that these years now have been able to connect with thousands of people and become close to several hundred. And as their season of life changes, like some of you have been in your business a year or 3 years or maybe 3 weeks. But as your life changes and theirs changes, it's so cool because you're going to have people, Tiffany, that you meet now at a skincare class that you never knew before. Who now you're going to maybe know them before they're married, before they have children. And then if you work your business as many years, you know, as Barbie or myself, you're going to know them all of a sudden. They've got toddlers. Now they have kids graduate from high school. It's so neat because you can do seasons of life together with people that you choose that you want to be with. And so that's been a huge, huge blessing. And now our children who weren't even a twinkle in God's eye when I started are now 13, 16, and 19. And to be able to do Mary Kay full time and not a different job. I left teaching before I was even pregnant. But I look at Mary Kay as teaching also, but it's teaching adult women. And so instead of teaching the children, it's now teaching the influencer. And my mission with Mary Kay is my mission and vision really is to help women and families live their best life. Internally, externally, eternally. And I know that I can do that. And I've been doing that through my Mary Kay business and making a positive impact. And not only in others' lives, but in my own. And raising kids that are confident and polite. And have manners, not always, but it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, so we are going to get right into it now. There's some topics we're going to talk about today. Money management, what do we do with our money? How do we handle that? Building to profit level, what does that look like? And we're going to talk about booking strategies and how do we book now? You know, if you've been in training 3 before, Heather, for example, now is different than it was prior pandemic. So there's skills that maybe I didn't even have. You know, Brianna, you were talking about being nervous, being on camera, possibly growing in that, right? I had never been on Zoom in my life prior to pandemic. I wasn't ever holding Facebook parties ever prior to pandemic. So I'm saying that if you have a mindset that I am going to become the best version of myself, that I'm going to, you know, bless others and my own self through this business, a growth mindset, you're going to be successful because you're either winning or learning. You know, there's a lot of mistakes that I've taken through this business, or Barbie has, that it's like, okay, well, that was a great lesson. Now we're going to, you know what I mean? I've learned from that, you know, because we're going to have ups and downs just like life. And if you choose to do Mary Kay for life, life's going to happen. You're going to have awesome mountaintop moments like getting married, like celebrating, you know what I'm saying? Family things, right? Your life things. You're also going to have tragedy. You're going to have loss because life is going to happen while we're building our business. And so if you treat your Mary Kay business like a business, it will pay you like a business. Okay, so I love it that you're here today. That speaks volumes about who you are and that you're looking to grow your business. So congratulations to each of you. And this is the thing, you know, sometimes how many of you have ever been like, oh, I wish I would have done that before. Oh, if I'd only started, blah, blah, blah. Okay, stop that thinking, because we start from where we're at in anything, right? In an exercise program, you know what I mean? In our Mary Kay business, we start from where we're at, and if we take little steps consistently, or big steps, but consistently in the right direction, it's amazing where you can end up. It's amazing. And when you build momentum, that's a fun place to be. Okay, so let's talk about money management for a minute. In our Mary Kay business, once we are at profit level, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but we do in Mary Kay what's called the 60-40 split. Okay, so how many of you have held a party, at least your launch party so far, or more? Like you've held facials, you've held parties. How many of you? Just give me a show of hands, those of you that are on screen. Perfect, because you want to know what to do with that money. Okay, and this is the thing. Number one is, if you don't have, or if I haven't told you already, you do want a separate account for your Mary Kay business. You absolutely want to keep personal money separate from your business. So I have a Mary Kay checking account and a Mary Kay savings account that are totally separate from my family. So if you haven't gotten a separate account, do that. You definitely want to be working your business, you know, separate from your family money, okay? And Barbie, at any time, if you're like, want to say something, you know what I'm saying, feel free to add in or to screen share or whatever, because you're awesome. Yeah.
Or ask you, are you recording?
I am recording. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, I would like to ask each of you right now that have sold product. I want you to give me what your sales were from that week, or what your sales were from your launch party. It doesn't have to be exact. Just give me a rough estimate if you're not sure. And I probably know if you're a consultant in my unit, I probably know, because I pay attention to those things. But if anyone wants to share, because what we're going to do right now is I'm going to take a clean piece of paper. Everyone take a clean piece of paper. And we are going to make a little graph on this piece of paper. And on the way left-hand side, I'm writing down week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So on the way left-hand, it's going to be a narrow little line here. I'm going to write week 1, and then about 2 inches down, week 2, about 2 inches down, week 3, and about 2 inches down, week 4. So this is a row, basically, okay, or a column. And then on top, so first our column is going to be weeks, and then it's going to be retail sales. So what did I sell? Okay, so I'm writing this across the top, retail sales. And then I'm going to do, I'm going to make a column that says 50%, 50. I'm going to make a column that says 10%, 10. I'm going to make a column that says 40%, 40. So my graph, if you can see this, across the top, weeks, retail sales, 50%, 10%, 40%. That is what I'm creating right here, okay? So someone give a wave if you had a week over $300. Okay, Rihanna, I want you to give me your retail sales for that week. Again, it's okay if it's not exact. Tell me a figure. We're going to run with that, okay?
I believe it was my launch, and that was 350, wasn't it, Barbie? I think
We'll go with that.
I think it was 366. I think.
that's probably accurate.
We want to have calculators handy also. Okay. All right. So we're going to call it 366. That's the retail sales. So I'm writing $366 in week one, that box. Okay. Got it. Okay. Tiffany, do you know about what your launch party was?
I want to say 700. You would probably know more.
Yeah, I think it was like 1,200 actually.
Oh,
in
well.
sales. Yeah. So let's say 1,200 for week two.
Okay.
Yep. So that is that. And Michelle Miller, your launch party, what was
It
yours?
was 640-ish.
Yeah, 640.
Mm-hmm.
Let's write 640. So that's going to week three. Okay. And someone else, Carly, Heather, Mary Lou, yes. One of you guys give me a figure. And you're muted, Mary Lou. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm very proud of the fact I sold $35 last week.
Congratulations. That is awesome. Okay, so Mary Lou sold $35 last week. Fantastic. Carly, give me one of your weeks. I'm going to add those two together, okay?
270.
270. 270 plus 35 is 305, right? Let's write that down. Okay. So I right now have 4 weeks of pretend that's what my sales were for that week, okay? So Mary Kay, we do something called the 60-40 split, but I've got a column now that's 50%, I've got a column that's 10, and a column that's 40. And I start doing the 60-40 split when my inventory is at profit level. So we'll talk about what that means later today, but let's take a look at Rihanna's week of 366, okay? So if I'm taking 366, half of 366 or 50% is $183. Is that right? I think so. Okay. So 50% in that, I'm writing $183 in the 50% column. Okay. 10% of 366 is $36.60. And 40% of 366 is $146.40. Okay. Now, how I figure those, if you're not, if math is not a super strong thing for you, how I figure that is I take the retail sales of 366 and in a calculator, I times, to get 50%, I times it by 0.5. Or to get 40%, I times 366 times 0.4. That's where you're getting those numbers from. Okay, so this time at 1,200, I'm going to ask for someone to tell me figures. Okay, so let's all figure that right now in our calculator. If I'm doing 50% of 1,200, I'm timesing 1,200 times 0.5. What is that number?
600.
Yay, excellent. $600. And then 10% would be, and I'm timesing times 0.1 to get that figure.
$120.
$120, very good. And then 40%, I'm timesing 1,200 times 0.4. Rihanna, what is that number?
480.
$480. Okay, good. So I'm going to give each of you 3 minutes right now to figure out week 3 and week 4.
What was the amount on week 3?
Week 3 is $640.
Was week 4 305?
Yes, week 4 is 305. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up when you've got those calculated, week 3 and week 4. All right, great. Rihanna's ready. Awesome. Mary Lou's ready. I was looking down if anyone else gave thumbs up. Tiffany's ready. Okay. Carly's ready. Good. Okay, so let's talk about these numbers. So week 3, we sold $640. 50% of that is $320. Okay. 10% is $64. And Michelle, what is 40% there? Do you got that?
256.
That's right, 256. Okay, week 5. Week 5, we had $305, and half of that is, Mary Lou, you got that?
150, 250.
Perfect. And then 10% is $30.50, and the 40% is
122.
122. Okay, great. So what we're going to do now is we're going to total those 4 weeks. So we're pretending this is our monthly sales. Okay, so right now, total week 1 through 4 in every column. Take a moment to do that. Okay, do we have those totaled? All right, the very first column, what I sold for the month. I believe that's $2,511. Okay, great. 50% of that, Rihanna, what is 50% of that? You got that?
I had 1,255.50.
Okay, perfect. Does everyone agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Then our 10% would be $251.10. And our 40% is what? Tiffany, do you have that?
$1,004.40.
Okay, $1,004.40. Okay, perfect. So we are right now pretending, that we are all at profit level. And profit level inventory is different for different people. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now we're under the assumption that we are all at our profit level inventory. So if I'm at my profit level inventory, what do I do with these numbers? Let's share that now. The retail sales of 2511, 50% of that is $1,255.50. So if this was my actual sales for the month, I know that for sure I'm ordering from Mary Kay at least 50%. So that would be $1,255.50 that I will be ordering from Mary Kay in product, okay? Because this is the thing. When I'm selling stuff, right, and then I'm giving people product, I need to replace my inventory. So this 50% is replacing inventory. That's what this number is. So keep in mind, whatever you sell, whether it's $100 or $1,000, half of that, if I'm at profit level, half of that is going back into reinvesting in product. Okay, now I take that 10%, and let's talk about what that 10% is for. To me, many times I actually split that 10% in 5 and 5. Okay, many times I split that 10% in 5 and 5. 5% I put into sales aids, like skincare samples that I can mail people, eyeshadow samples, you know, the 3D strip, the charcoal mask samples, the renewing gel mask samples, any the deluxe minis, little travel hand creams, little travel eye makeup removers. That is going to come from the 10%. Now, when I'm a brand new consultant, those of you that did the sample pack for Mary Kay, or your new team members have that option to do the sample pack for Mary Kay, that is the best way. I highly recommend the sample pack because that only costs $45, but it's valued over $80. And so when you have team members, please encourage them to do the sample pack at agreement time. It only is offered at agreement time. If they don't do it when they do their agreement, whether it's the $30 e-start or the $130 e-start plus a starter kit, they don't have that option again. Okay, so what I'm saying is initially starting, you might do more than 10%, or you're going to have an investment in samples, right, from the very get-go. I'm talking about this 10% as maintenance of samples, of replacing, and that kind of thing, okay? The other thing I like to put this 10% toward would be, yes, Mary Lou.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We are making the assumption that these sales are coming from product we already own. Is that correct?
That is right.
Okay,
Yep,
all
that's
right.
correct. Okay, so with this 10% or split 5 and 5, I like to also put 5% back into product. So I increase that 50% really to 55. Let's talk about why. The reason I do that is because I take product off my shelf for me and for my family. Usually in a year, I take $3,000 worth of product off my shelf for me and my family. So if I don't replace that, if I don't do more than 50%, I'm depleting my inventory by using it myself, and I need to be my best customer. Okay? You need to, as a Mary Kay beauty consultant, be your best customer. It's important that we are our best customer. Never feel guilty about taking product off your shelf. You will not sell it if you're not using it, okay? So you are your best customer. There's no guilt involved. You keep a list. If you haven't learned this yet, this might be new to you to hear today. All year long, keep a list. Mary Lou's personal use 2021. Carly's personal use 2021. All year long, everything I open goes on that list. In addition, I have another list. Brenda's gifts. People that I give gifts to, okay, not because they're my hostess. I'm talking friends, family, graduations. We are invited now to 10 graduation parties. Everyone is getting Mary Kay from me. Everyone is. That is a list of gifts. Birthdays, weddings, Christmas, friends, family, people I don't know, but I'm invited anyway. They're getting Mary Kay. Okay? All right. So that's 2 separate lists. And the other list that you keep all year long are 2021 demos. Stuff I open. I open a big one and I demo out of it. And this could be true whether you're face-to-face with people or maybe you're not face-to-face, but you're sending samples and Mary Kay doesn't have samples of that. So you open a big one and that is your demo. Okay? So you're going to have those 3 lists. All right, but I'm just explaining that 10%. Another thing you might do with that 10% is do preferred customer program. PCP, let's write that down. You do need to know that acronym. PCP stands for Preferred Customer Program. That's where I pay Mary Kay to send my customers the most recent lookbook. This enrollment happens 5 times a year. Okay, 5 times a year. Usually it's every 3 months, but at holiday time, there's 2 back to back. Okay, so I think it's 70 cents a person, Barbie, to send the lookbook, which includes a free sample, and I enroll my customers to get it. So those of us, maybe Heather, Carly, you've been in long enough, Rihanna, I'm not sure, that you did PCP possibly. For this quarter, or for the summer lookbook, this is being mailed right now to our customers. Some of you weren't in Mary Kay long enough, Michelle, Mary Lou, to have done that. Okay?
Now,
Yes.
you had said that you split your 10% into 5 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
1/5 goes to samples, deluxe minis, etc. Is that also where PCP comes from? And what's the other 5% for?
Yeah. So also, if I have extra in there, that can go toward PCP. Yes. The other 5% goes into inventory. So I really do more like 55 because of the personal product use I'm taking all the time.
Okay.
Because I do, and I want you all to be your best customer. It's important to not deplete my inventory because I'm taking stuff out of it. I need to replace that too. So consistently about 5% of that 10 goes back into product. Okay, so my product order is really more like 50% plus 5%. And then that other 5 is for samples. And if I have extra, PCP. If I don't, that's going to come out of my profit.
Awesome. One other question that I commonly get from consultants is, what percent does the trips come from? Like seminar, quarterly retreat, fall retreat, you have amazing events coming up. What percent should that come out of?
Great question. I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so our 40%.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, what do we do with tax?
Tax is a wash. So tax always goes with the retail sales or with the 50%. Okay? Because tax is a wash. So what that means is that when I buy from Mary Kay, remember you maybe have heard this from me before, we pay tax on the retail. We're, wholesale, I'm ordering 600 wholesale, but I'm paying tax on 1,200 retail, right? So the great news is I don't have to mess with the IRS with sending in sales tax. Mary Kay does it really smart. We pay for the sales tax up front. we recoup it when we sell it in full. So sales tax here, great question, Heather Goodman, goes with the 50% because it's a complete wash. Okay. Back to what did we do with 40%? So 40% is my profit minus expenses. So 40% is my profit minus expenses. What do I mean by minus expenses? Okay, what are some expenses? We can brainstorm right now. Feel free to unmute if you want to brainstorm. What are some expenses I'm going to have as a Mary Kay beauty consultant right now?
Postage.
Mileage.
Okay, I wrote down postage. Someone said mileage. Okay.
Where does the internet fall in?
Yes, that is a business expense. Internet.
Space?
Any other
Your
Office
space for
supply.
your office?
space for your office? If you're renting space, at this point, I don't recommend a consultant rent space besides your own home.
That's what I mean, in your own home.
Okay, okay. So that's another discussion we'll have another day. In-home office, though, is a legitimate, which I do claim, tax write-off when I'm showing a profit on paper. Okay, it's a huge deal, and you do want to keep track of it, but you don't have to right now. Anyway, because you claim it when you have a profit on paper. And this is the thing, though, you do want to keep track of all expenses if you're renting or own a home. Things that will be tax deductible would be the space I use only for a Mary Kay business. So it doesn't have to be a separate room, but it can't be your dining room table if you ever eat on it. Okay, so it could be, and there's a top national that I know when she started her business, even as a $400,000 unit club director, her office was a card table in the corner of her living room. That could be it. Okay, it doesn't have to be its own room. It can be a section of it that's only used for your business. But other expenses, though, so I'll talk about that more later, just so you know, but that is legitimate. In-home office is something that we claim once we're showing a profit on paper.
I see what Mary Lou's saying though, like if you're going to get a desk, if you want to make it fancy and cute,
If
like
you're
I'm
buying
someone
stuff.
who really wanted my office cute, so I took from Mary Kay profits what I could have used on anything else and got my decorations and stuff from that. Yep.
Yes, thank you for clarifying that, Barbie. So if I buy anything for my business, office equipment, a desk, organizing containers, all that would be coming out of my profit. Okay, so that's why I always say, oh, and also retreats, seminars, travel, that's coming out of my 40%. Okay, so that's the thing you to think about. Think about with this business. Yes, events are important. If you're going to do anything, that's what you want to do. Invest in yourself. Invest in being plugged in. Invest on attending events. Okay, that would be critical for keeping a positive outlook, for knowing what you're doing, you know what I mean, for that sisterhood and camaraderie and empowerment. The things that I don't have to spend money on would be brand new office equipment, would be cute containers. Okay, I'm very frugal. I keep in mind, okay, do I need this, or can I put it in the cardboard box it came with and still be organized and write on a marker on the outside what it is? Or if I even want to fancy up that box, put wrapping paper around it. Okay, because keep in mind, what I spend money in one area is taken away from my profit. Okay, so, but some real legitimate, yes, you're absolutely going to have expenses would be postage that someone mentioned, would be having the internet, which is now, I claim it as 100% tax deductible because that is why I have it in my home, is for my business. Okay, mileage, you want to, if you have not started, keep track of all mileage that you do for Mary Kay. Okay, how it works for mileage is this. At the end of the year, you want to know and do an odometer reading. Now, if you did not do an odometer reading, which you probably didn't, when you started your business, you know, April 26th or January 15th or whatever date you started your business, take a good educated guess at what your odometer reading would have been that date. Okay, and then you do want to, every time you get in your vehicle to drive for Mary Kay, whether it's I'm driving to a facial, I'm driving because I'm buying supplies, I'm making a delivery, I'm going to my success event when we're face to face, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to fall retreat. You're going to always write down the mileage. It doesn't have to be the odometer reading. The odometer reading is once a year, December 31st, January 1st. But the actual mileage, so it would be date, where am I going, what am I doing? So for example, today my husband is making deliveries for me. So I would say May 17th, Neillsville, Wisconsin, Troy making deliveries. I could even say the person's name, Jean Mosley. And then I say the miles, 42 miles. Okay, so you do want to keep track of your miles driven because you can deduct at a higher rate than it costs to drive your car. Last year we got back 57.5% or cents per every mile. That's a big deduction. Okay, once we start driving again, you know, holding appointments, that's going to be a big deduction. Okay.
I think something to note too is we all have, you know, different personalities, different styles, right? So where Brenda wouldn't spend money, maybe I would, right? I like decor. I like a cute office. So that was a dream I had of building that. So what you have to do though, is if you do decide, hey, I want to build a little fancy office, you just have to make sure you go at it with the mindset of this is profit and I'm building this. And so every time you're around that space and you're in your office, you're like, oh my gosh, look what I bought myself with my Mary Kay money. Just as long as you know that's coming from your profit.
Excellent. It's, you know, it comes down to priorities, but the bottom line is the most important things would be having internet is probably really important right now, especially since pandemic. You know, prior to that, it was like, yeah, you can maybe do it without, okay, you might want it now, right? For sure. And postage, you know, there's no way around that. You're going to have that. And then attending events. Absolutely. Setting the money aside. So sometimes people say, okay, from this 40%, I'm automatically saving 5% of that always, or 10% always to go toward future events. So I think it's healthy. I have lots of different accounts that I move money to, that there's no penalty for having, you know, a $1 balance basically. So if you can have a bank like that where you can move stuff, I think it's very smart to move. And on, you know, you guys with starting your business right now, you'll probably write yourself a paycheck, let's say once a month. Okay. Not twice a month. You know, it depends how much business you have. If you're doing more, you might do twice a month, but at this point, you're probably doing once a month. So at that point, that's when you say, okay, if my profit is $1,004, but I spent $40 in postage and, you know, internet is $50 or whatever, you're subtracting that out, right? And then you're going to say, okay, maybe I'm going to put 10% or 100 or whatever toward my investment of myself, whether it's be events or, you know, being involved in some positive training type thing. Does that make sense?
Question.
Yes.
So when you say it comes out of the profit, come tax time, do you get the postage and the mileage back? Like, could
You do, 100%.
Typically, when you get a tax, do you mind sharing, like, how much somebody would get back with that? I'm curious because I still have to do my taxes. I had to file an extension.
Yeah, I know how that is. Okay, so in postage, for example, my expense of postage this past year was probably $1,200. And it was interesting because it wasn't higher than the year before. My postage was almost identical from the year before to this past year, which is interesting, but it's true. Okay, so that 1,000, let's say it's 1,000, Carly, comes straight off. 100% of business expense. Okay, internet, I do it at 100% because that is why I have it. It's like $70 a month. $70 times 12, that comes off straight out of profit on paper for my tax guy, right?
So basically, the government sent you a check if we're just talking postage for $1,200.
They do not send me a check for that. What happens is I pay less tax in. Okay, or you get more tax refund because that is a business expense at 100%. Okay, so I just called my accountant today. Okay, because normally I'm paying in thousands of dollars. Okay, so we switch things up to try to make it equalish instead of always having to pay in, right? So I just called my accountant today and he's like, oh yeah, we're not quite done, but you're getting a refund, so it doesn't have to be today. And I'm like, hallelujah, I don't have to pay in $7,000. Wonderful. Okay, I'm actually getting a refund. And so that refund is because I spent $1,000 in postage. Because I had 18,000 miles that I drove for Mary Kay last year. Because I'm claiming internet. Does that make sense? So you're not getting a separate check, but I'm actually getting a refund instead of paying in. Okay? Real life examples. There's a consultant. She's in Barbie's unit. She was in my unit. She lives in Arizona. 2 years ago, she contacted me and said, I started this business for tax savings, and my accountant said I saved $10,000 in taxes this year that we would have had to pay in if I was not a Mary Kay Beauty consultant. Okay? Most people, because you're working a business, Mary Kay, and you can deduct many things, Carly, that you can't deduct, save usually anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a year in getting more back.
So that the lady you're talking about, how much profit do you think she made?
Not a lot. She works as part-time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So you do want to keep good records. And Barbie and I both use the same accountant. His sheet, it's Tom Vetcher out of Minneapolis, or actually he's out of St. Paul. You can use his sheet, which we give out. We give you, and you can go and Google him, Tom Vetcher. And if you go to his site, there's a free Mary Kay sheet you can print off that is set up like a Schedule C.
It's the one posted in our Red Thread group, Carly, in the files section.
Yeah, I got that. Yep.
It's that sheet, and that lists all the things you can deduct. So you do want to deduct what you can deduct.
I think it is important to note too, because I saw some eyeballs get big, Brenda, when you're like, I have to pay in 7,000 or whatever. And I saw a lot of people go, okay. Mary Kay is going to be a deduction for you, especially until, if you don't have a car and you're not a director, it's definitely on your side. Brenda, do you want to explain that?
Absolutely. The reason why my husband and I pay in is we both have our own businesses, right? And we're successful. So hallelujah, praise God. That's a good thing, honestly. But it's nice to have it more balanced on so that you're not necessarily paying in so much at a time. But Barbie's exactly right. You will not show a profit on paper until you have a free car for Mary Kay. That's about the time maybe that you might show a profit on paper, but you still might not because there's so many things you can deduct. But as a sales director, yes, you're going to be having a profit. But that's good because then I'm making a lot of money, right? Okay, so it's all, you know, claim the deductions that you can claim, and you will it will be a benefit to you. So does everyone, is it kind of clear how to take care of my money, the 60-40 split? This is called the 60-40 split. We split it really 50, 10, or 5 and 5, and 40. Keep in mind 40 is after I pay my expenses. So if I paid for postage and I paid for the internet and that was all my expenses that month, then my profit is more like maybe 800 or whatever, depending on what those figures were. Let's talk now about profit level inventory. Profit level inventory, with this example that I just gave, is under the premise that you are at profit level inventory. Okay? Because that's my first goal. If I'm not at profit level inventory, the first thing I want to do is get more product in stock that I am at profit level. So that's, if I'm not at this point, then what I'm going to be doing is not taking 40%. I will be taking less than 40% until I grow my profit. So profit level inventory, I'm just writing this down now. Write profit level inventory as your heading, okay? So the minimum that I ever would consider being profit level would be having 1,800 wholesale, my cost, on shelf. Okay, 1,800 wholesale, my cost on shelf would be the lowest I would ever consider profit level inventory. Let's talk about who would fit into that category. In my opinion, who would fit into that category would be someone who really is looking to do this business for themselves and just a handful of friends. Okay, because if you're on everything Mary Kay, you're going to be using 1,800. Like, it's funny because my mentor is like, I use 1,800 on one leg. I know. So 1,800 wholesale would be the minimum I would suggest anyone have, and that would be if you're only really servicing yourself and like a handful of friends and family. Okay, because that is like, you know, the sink in my bathrooms and the showers in my bathroom and my own skincare and my kids were using Mary Kay and my husband using Mary Kay. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay. And then I have some on stock for me in the future and my friends and family. Okay, but that would be profit level, would be 1,800 wholesale. So if you're not at 1,800 wholesale, absolutely, I would reinvest until I get at least there. Okay, 2,400 wholesale, this is the next level, 2,400 wholesale, consider that as profit level, and I might consider that as profit level if I'm holding, you know, on a regular basis, a couple things a month. So I'm holding a couple parties, a few facials and a couple parties a month, 2,400 wholesale, I could consider as profit level. Things are a little bit different right now. With the pandemic, I am doing CDS, if we haven't talked about what that means, CDS, customer delivery service, where I pay Mary Kay to send my customers that order straight from Mary Kay straight to them. Okay, how many of you that are on right now have used CDS? Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyone? Customer delivery service? Okay, Tiffany, that's what we would have used when you sent product to the girl who lives in Georgia, Laura, right?
Laura, yes.
Yes, okay. So CDS stands for Customer Delivery Service. Prior to pandemic, I barely used it. I almost never used it because the shipping on that was $7.95. And if I ship to my house, it's $9.95 or $10.95. Okay, so at that time, prior pandemic, I wasn't using it. Then now the shipping on it is $4.95. But also, products are in and out of stock constantly. Products are in and out of stock constantly. And I applaud each of you because I'm telling you, in 25 years, this has never happened before. Never happened before. And it's only because of this global pandemic and things being shut down that we're dealing with this. But I applaud you because this is an obstacle that we are going to have to work through around over, be creative, be patient through this pandemic and beyond, because Mary Kay, when we make product, it's usually 18 months in advance. So this didn't show up as such of an issue right away because we make products 18 months out. But now it's really showing up as an issue because we haven't been able to keep up with production. Does that make sense? Or get things from different places. So I find that having inventory right now is even more important than prior pandemic because Mary Kay constantly is out of stock. Okay, so I'm thankful, like this happened when Tiffany and I were doing your order, you know, renewing gel masks. She sold like 5 of them at least. Well, we couldn't order them. And under eye corrector, right? And after sun gel. And so this is the thing. If I had had inventory, I maybe already had those things in stock. So when Mary Kay ran out, I could still service my customers. Okay. So I'm, you know, having inventory is a really smart thing. I'm using CDS more, customer delivery service, but I'm also running into the issue that Mary Kay itself is out of stock when I can be in stock. So if you can get things and you like them and you're going to sell a bunch, when you can order them because you never know when that's going out of stock with Mary Kay. Okay. So the 2,400 wholesale, again, would be someone who's holding a couple appointments a month. Okay. And if you heard right in this party, you know, Tiffany's launch party sold $1,200. Annie, who just came on, her launch party was just under $1,000. You know, Michelle on there, her party was $640. You might sell $1,000 at one party. So if you're holding 2 a month, you might be selling $1,500, $2,000. Okay, so our goal with Mary Kay is to have stuff in stock, sell it, and replenish it, and have that cycle going on. 3,000 wholesale profit level would be, hey, I'm holding a couple things a week, you know, maybe 6, 7 things a month. I could consider my profit level as 3,000 wholesale. 3,600 wholesale, if you talk to anyone from Mary Kay, that would be true profit level for someone who's looking to work this consistently, like 3 parties a week. If I'm looking to move to full-time, if I'm looking to leave my other job, if I'm looking to earn a free car, I would recommend 3,600 wholesale or more. If someone says, I want to leave my career and do this full-time, I recommend more like 4,800 wholesale. Okay. But for sure, if I'm looking to do this full-time, 3,600 wholesale. Okay. So when I do my inventory, every year you're going to count what you have on shelf, and that's for tax reasons. So my inventory fluctuates anywhere from the low end, never under 5,000 wholesale, and the top end 10,000 wholesale. Okay, that's my inventory. Well, I have 300 customers, right? So mine's going to be higher, you know, than yours is going to be. But I'm just letting you know because there have been months, 2 months ago, when I sold 6,500 in 1 month. So if I only have 1,800 on shelf, how am I possibly servicing my customers? Okay, but that's why I say your profit level is different for the activity you're looking for. So minimum would be 1,800, and most consultants maximum would be like 3,600. Unless you're looking to leave your job, then I would look at having more. And some people, you know, if you haven't taken out a loan to invest in inventory, that's a smart way to do it. You know, why not have the bank treat it like a real loan, treat it like a real business. You know, when I started, I borrowed $2,000 right off the bat and then paid it back slowly over time, 120 a month, 120 a month, 120 a month. So my first skincare class, that loan payment came out of. And keep in mind, if I do get a loan, that's a loan for my business. That's not coming out of my family money. That's coming out of my Mary Kay earnings because I'm holding parties and facials. Okay. Any questions about profit level inventory? Okay. So we're going to move on and talk about those of you that are in the Great Start time period yet. Give a wave. Those of you that are in the Great Start time period. Mary Lou, you are.
I am.
Michelle is, yes. Anyone else? Okay. So those of you in Great Start time period, and I want to give a shout out to Annie. So Annie just popped on. Annie started her business in December. And she actually, through the Great Start program, earned 10 free product bundles. 10 free product bundles. That's over $1,000 in free product, plus 2 Besties coupons. Mary Lou's on Annie's team. And so she really maxed out, didn't quite max out the Great Start, but did a fantastic job. And those of you that are still in Great Start, or you're going to have team members, right, who are in Great Start, really encouraging them, because why not have Mary Kay build your inventory, not just you? And so maximizing on the Great Start, Mary Lou and Michelle, every time you're ordering 600 cumulative, you get another bundle for free during your Great Start time period. And I think Mary Lou, March, April, May, June, your ending is June, and Michelle, I think your ending is July. So you guys can earn a bundle every time you're ordering, selling, replacing, building 600 wholesale or more. So that is really smart. And the other thing is the Besties coupon and the team building, where you can, 3 people can become a consultant and get a coupon from you and pay $25 less for their starter kit. And then when they become Great Start qualified, you get a $50 bonus in cash plus $220 in free product per person. So that's huge, because Annie, 4 of her bundles were from team building and 6 of them were from investing in product or selling and replacing and building. So Michelle and Mary Lou, you can both take advantage of that. And for all of us on here, as you're building your team, you can support your team member in capitalizing on the Great Start program. Okay, let's talk about booking. Booking is the lifeline of our business. It always is. And Barbie is a master booker, and I love that. And so Barbie, if you have any tips about booking right now, I'll say a few words about booking if that's okay. And then if you want to add in. I think with booking, number 1 is your attitude. It's your enthusiasm. It's your genuineness. And so think about it as, if I approach someone, now, how many of you have a contact list? I said have that here. So your list of people that you know. Okay, perfect. Annie, you have it. Your contact list is an ongoing forever list. When you first write it or first are writing it, think about, if I was getting married tomorrow, who would I invite to the wedding? It's that broad. Even think back to your own wedding, right? If you had one. Who did I invite? Who do I know through my parents? Who do I know through my husband or future husband? Who do I know through coworkers? Who do I know from when I grew up as a little girl? Who were my friends then? Who do I know from high school? Who do I know from college? Who do I know from different jobs I've had? So be that broad. Anyone with skin, write them down. Who are friends of mine on Facebook? Who are people who are my neighbors? Who are people that I go to church with? Who are people who I know through children of mine? who could I reach out to and talk to? So your very first list of people, I think your best customers, honestly, are acquaintances. Okay, people who know who you are but don't know you well. Those are your hot people to book with. Why do I say that? Okay, yes, I can start with my friends and family. Yes, I can meet people through my friends and family. Yes, some of my friends and family are super supportive, but others want a deal. Others think I should give them a bigger discount than other people. Do not do that, by the way. Okay, so acquaintances are the perfect people because they aren't trying to take advantage of you. They respect you as a business person. They know last week Brenda didn't wear eyeshadow. They don't even know me well enough to know I wasn't wearing eyeshadow last week. Okay, so acquaintances are usually your best customers. Just so you know, okay? So this list you're making is ongoing forever because you're always going to meet new people. Okay, but starting out, if you haven't taken the time to write a list of 10 people, 30 people, 50 people, 250 people, take the time to do it. Do not keep all that up in your mind. That will drive you crazy and you'll forget people. Okay. But booking really does come down to an attitude. If you think you can, you can. And if you think you can't, you're right. So when I look to book with someone, I'm going to talk genuine. I'm going to be real with them. So I might say, well, let's pretend it's someone who I do know, who does know me, but maybe we don't know each other really well. And I'm new. I might say, hey, this is Brenda. Oh my gosh, I don't know. This is crazy. You haven't heard I'm a new consultant with Mary Kay. And then I go, what? You know, where do you go? And I'm like, I know. Anyway, that might be someone who knows me well. And I'll say, so the first part of my challenge or the first part of my business is to do 30 faces in 30 days. Is there any reason why we couldn't get together? Is there any reason why I couldn't borrow your face? Is there any reason why we can't connect? Okay, so that might be a first conversation with some people who know me well. A more acquaintance conversation might be, hi, blank there. Hi, this is Brenda. It was so great seeing you at the game the other night. And I'm not sure if you realize I'm a consultant with Mary Kay. And I'd love the opportunity to get to know you more and treat you to a free facial. Is there any reason why we couldn't set something up? Okay. You might do this via face-to-face. This might be texting. It might be a phone call. It might be a Facebook message. People communicate in different ways. I personally get better results when they can hear my voice because they can hear the genuineness. And you can even share, like, I know, because, okay, so with this Facebook thing, I'd never done Facebook parties before. I was nervous. I did not know how to do this. So I called some of my customers or people who reordered. I would try to book them when they were reordering product. And I would be like, hey, Lisa, it's Brenda. Oh my gosh. So I don't know, you know, if you've heard, but I've just started doing Facebook parties with my business, and I'm kind of nervous because I haven't done this before. And I was wondering if you'd be willing to be a hostess. You've been such a great hostess in the past. You know, I'd love to give you a bunch of free products for grabbing some friends together. Okay. One thing is keep in mind, are you booking for virtual or are you booking for face-to-face? Because either works and you'll say similar things, but you might say things a little bit different. I think with the booking script, think about, give them a sincere compliment, talk genuinely, and ask them, is there any reason why we can't connect? Is there any reason why we can't set something up? And that languaging, is there any reason why, is studied and very effective. Barbie, do you have some input on that?
I agree with everything you're saying. Attitude is key. I don't know how many times I've had consultants in my unit end up not being a consultant again because the way they were asking. And like, for example, Oh yeah, I'm just trying out this Mary Kay thing, and I need to do some facials. So I'm wondering. Okay, so they're gonna take it as seriously as you take it seriously. So if you approach it like it's a business, they're going to treat it like you're serious and like a business. And you know what? If someone's asking me to do them a favor, I'm not as motivated as if there really is a product that maybe I'm interested in. So so word choice, I think, is as important as your attitude. I also had someone who would be like, hey, would you hold a party for me? I need you to hold a party for me. And they would say things like that. And I just about died when I heard her say that in front of some people. So just watch how you're saying things. And we provide really good resources for that. If you're in my unit, in the new consultants Red Thread Facebook group, video number 4. Video number 4 is the wording I use, the different examples I use, when someone gives objection or someone gives reasons why they can't, what objections to use. So, and I know Brenda has this too, so just utilize resources.
In the new consultant Facebook group, it's video number 3 of mine is talking about bookings. And I do go over the objections because there's about 7, 8 objections you're going to get. And if you know how to respond to those, you're usually going to book those people. It's not a no, it's tell me more information or help me understand how I can fit this into my schedule. Another really effective strategy when booking is have your date book marked in advance of where you want to hold appointments. Because if I am talking to Carly and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so great, sometimes you're going to run into someone from the past. Okay, so that's why I'm giving this example. Pretend Carly and I run into each other because she grew up in Greenwood and so did I. And maybe we run into each other and I haven't seen her in 10 years. Okay, that is a scenario that can happen. And so, which has happened with me and other people. So I might be like, oh my gosh, oh, it's so great to see you. Oh, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And you do some of that. And then you might be like, I don't know if you'd be interested at all. I'm a consultant with Mary Kay, and I would love the opportunity to send you some free samples and to connect. Is there any reason why we couldn't set something up? Or is there any reason why we couldn't exchange numbers? Okay, so yeah, anyway, I just wanted to say you're going to have booking opportunity everywhere you go. You're going to have booking opportunity. And then like Michelle talked about wanting to bless others and empower women. Oh my gosh, you can make them feel so special. And so it's really a gift you're offering. And then if they're like, oh yeah, that'd be great. I'd say, hey, would a weekday or weeknight work better? A weekend or a weeknight or a Friday night? A Saturday morning or a Sunday afternoon? Give 2 options that work for you. When you're booking, give 2 options that work for you. And like Barbie holds up, a Tuesday night or Friday night. Okay, so you do want to have an idea of your schedule. Don't be like, oh, I'm totally wide open. I could do something anytime. Do not do that. Then people are going to be like, oh, apparently she has nothing going on.
They think you have nothing going on, but also it's not respectful to your family and your husband. So, or whoever is in your life when you're like, oh, whenever works for you. And I remember when I started thinking, oh yeah, but I'm going to say whenever works for you because I'm so hard up for bookings. I need it. So they don't take you as seriously, but also then it's like, oh, you have a facial that day? I thought you were open that day. Oh, no, I have a facial now. Oh, huh. Well, this Mary Kay thing's taking up more time than I thought it would. Like, so it just kind of causes things. Also, I think having your openings marked in advance goes right along with goal setting. Like, what goal do you want and how many bookings will it take to get to that goal? So it kind of keeps you on track for a goal as well when you already have little spaces out in your calendar. So whether that is, 3 spaces a week, or if it's a super Saturday where you do like 3 on a Saturday, or if you're like, whoa, I just want to do 2 a month, just wherever it is, you just know where it is so you can offer, have that to offer.
This is the other thing about booking. Everything you book will not hold. Everything you book will not hold. So if I want to hold 2 things a month, I better book 3 or 4. Okay, it's the rules of the ball game. Don't be disappointed. It happens. Okay, so I was just showing my date book when Barbie was just talking. So pink stuff is Mary Kay, yellow stuff is family. So at the beginning of a month, or I look at a month at a glance and I mark things right away. If you guys have a family, for those of you that do, or other obligations for sure that you're doing, you're going to take a calendar and mark those things in. Okay, and Barbie's holding hers up. Then you're going to look at, where can I hold Mary Kay? Now keep in mind that you need to hold Mary Kay somewhere. But one place that you can capitalize on is your success event. Your weekly success event that Barbie or I are doing with you. You could say, I'm going to bring guests every week to that. Every week, I'm having a party at our success event. And it could be a hostess with bringing friends, or it could be you inviting individual people. But making a commitment to being at your success event and then bringing guests to your success event. If you're only going to work one night a week, that is it. Be there and bring guests. Okay. Now, for me to have 3 guests there, I have to at least have 6 people say yes, because there will be people who said they're going to be on who will not be on. Okay. Or smart, have a hostess or 2 hostesses committed and inviting people, you know, to your weekly thing. With, you know, so just make a decision on where you want to hold stuff. And it is nice to have some flexibility, seriously. Like, for example, I'm doing Michelle's skincare class party with her tonight. Mondays, I normally don't, but I'm making an exception. Once in a while, I make an exception to be able to fit something in, maybe to build up someone. Does that make sense? Okay. But if there are things specifically that are really important for me to be at, like my son's track meet, and we go together as a family and we're there together for hours, I don't book shows that night. And I will not. When my both sons were in baseball and my daughter was playing softball, 3 different kids, 3 different fields, 3 different nights, or the same night, let's say, there were some games I missed. Yes. There are sometimes games I'm going to miss. Yes, that's going to happen as a parent, right? But you just decide what's a priority to you, because there's no rule that I have to work my business on a weeknight. However, if I want to build my business, there's a rule I need to work it sometime.
Yeah, and there are directors who, you know, will, before they're planning their week, will tell their kids, okay, what events do you have going on this week and which ones are important for me to be there? Because some kids don't care if you're at their stuff and some kids do. So all your kids have different personalities. And some kids just want you at a certain thing, but they don't care if you're at everything, you know?
Yeah. So doing your weekly plan sheet, if you haven't made a habit of starting to do a weekly plan sheet, make that a habit. That's something you can print off for free on Mary Kay In Touch. It's under business tools, under weekly accomplishment sheets. Barbie, can you get into the weekly accomplishment sheets quick on here? Would that be okay? Barbie's going to screen share that. So weekly accomplishment sheets is your Sunday through Saturday, what am I doing every single week? And I'll just show you. I use a different version that's on what Mary Kay In Touch, but this is today, and I didn't highlight it or make it pretty, but it's showing today I have training 3 from 11 to 12:30, and then I have someone coming horseback riding at 4:15, and then I'm doing Tina and Michelle's party tonight from 6 till about 8. And there's other things I'm doing, but that's for sure blocked out. Okay. So that's a really great tool. And the other tool for time management is the 6 most important things list. And so every night before you go to bed, think about what's the 6 most important things for me to do tomorrow. In in my business and to run a household. And if you have another job, if someone's not telling you what to do and you need to make a to-do list, when I was teaching, I used to write that before I left my job that night for the next day. Okay, but you will sleep better and you'll be much more efficient if you're doing the 6 most important things list and the weekly plan sheet. And the weekly plan sheet, putting it on the refrigerator so your family knows where you are. And also, after you hold a party, like Michelle, after you hold your party tonight, you're going to put in there, Tina, blah, 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 and then whatever the sales are, $500. Put that on the weekly plan sheet and 2 bookings or whatever, because then your husband gets to see that too. And he's like, oh, she was working, but she sold $500. I guess I might pack her bags. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So
my weekly plan sheet is also my calendar. What I did is I bought this at a glance, and it shows 15 minutes. And I'm a teacher, so that's why mine is like split years. But I need 15-minute increments. So I have my weekly plan sheet, but it's also my planner. So when I'm booking people, I can just flip ahead to the next weeks and whatever, and it's all in one place, because I'm not very organized and I lose things. So that's what I have to have there. I also put my 6 things, most important things. I just fit it in the 7 o'clocks because I don't want to wake up at that time anyway. So I put that there, and that's where I use mine. So mine's all in one place, and it works super well for me. You got to find what works for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Brenda, it is on InTouch. You might need to help me find it, but I'm pretty sure I know where it is. You go to business tools.
And if you go into weekly accomplishments, and then it's weekly plan sheet, about the 5th or 6th thing down, right there.
Right.
That's it. So you guys can print that off for free, and I recommend filling it out every, let's say, Sunday night for the upcoming week. That's when I do mine, is Sunday night for the upcoming week. When Barbie was just talking about, hey, talk to your kids and say, hey, what's important for me to come to this week? I have to do that as a month glance. I cannot plan a week before I plan the entire month in advance. So schedule things that are important to you, schedule family things, but also schedule Mary Kay. Yeah, I'm definitely a planner. And when you do that, though, it's cool because you can be at everything that's important to you. And then you can also work your business. Okay, and Barbie, can you go off of that for a second? So that's the weekly plan sheet. And can you show the weekly accomplishment sheets for a second? Let's just look at that. Now that's training video number 4, I think, in mine. But let's, on Mary Kay InTouch, under business tools, let's go back to weekly accomplishment sheets for a second. And let's go to enter, because, and then we'll just see one of Barbie's weeks. Just pull up any week, Barbie. Okay, awesome. So if you look at this.
I have not entered mine in a long time, Brenda.
Okay.
So I will go back.
Yeah, go back to somewhere.
Poor role model.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, so this particular week, if you look at, and I think most of you, I've done this with, showing you how to do this, or Mary Lou will do this after your party. But if you look at, you've got the person, the date, the person's name, how much time you invested, and then was it a show, which would be like a skincare class or a party. I mean, basically that's what that means. Or a reorder. Yep, you get to pick that drop-down menu, what it was. And then when you're done, you hit add at the end. Sales tax you can put in, or you don't have to because it's a wash. Hostess gifts is section 2, like little travel hand creams. Again, not required to put that in. Section 2 is all tax deductible when you purchase it. Giveaway, though, you do need to put in. Giveaway would be, what did they get for free? Let's pretend they got the travel roll-up bag for free. That's $35. I put in $35. Let's say they're the hostess and I gave them free hydrogel eye patches. $40 goes in giveaway. Okay?
You'll notice here, Becca Ellenbecker, I gave her a beauty blotters. So I didn't sell anything on that transaction, but I gave that away Okay, so I have the $6 under giveaway. And then I put uncollected sales tax of 33 cents because I did not make her pay 33 cents for that product because that was a free giveaway item to her. So I entered that there.
Thanks for saying that, Barbie. Non-recovered sales tax is product that you give that you did not charge tax on. And that's 100% of a tax deduction. So you do want to keep track. The orders up at the top, if you notice where it says people's names and then like Sarah, whatever is in there, that means she ordered online. And so sometimes I will finish the info out there and hit add, and then her name goes below. But sometimes she's going to be on the wrong week because maybe she did an online order this week, but the next week is when Barbie actually processed it and then she entered it manually.
Yeah.
But if I want to do manual orders, yeah, Barbie just clicked on that, and then that's where I can edit those once I click on that manual orders. Hey, Barbie, are you in your office?
No, but I'm near it.
Okay, could you just show a couple, I know we're right at time right now. Could you show though a couple office organization things that you've got going on?
Yep.
Would that be okay? Like where you have your pamper packs or how you organize that a little bit?
I'm just thinking how so my camera's gonna move, by the way.
Okay, yep. And you can stop screen share, then we can see you big too.
You're gonna travel with me for a
Okay.
second. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I actually was just like working in here, and you can't see me though, can you? Here we go.
There, now we can.
Awesome. Unblur my background. All right, we're entering my studio right now. Hold on. I was organizing yesterday. Okay, so I wanted a nice studio I could work from. So my husband built me this. But okay, I just made an office system yesterday. This is great timing, Brenda. So I'm not super organized. See how I have my mess there? I was working from there this morning with my.
Hey, Barbie, it's really hard to hear you now.
Oh,
there we
okay.
go.
Well, you can hear me now?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, we can hear you really well now.
Okay, so as you can see this morning, I was making a video, which is why my ring light is set up by my page. My husband was entering inventory for me last night after my kids labeled it. So my kids labeled it, my husband entered it, and I have yet to put that away. But have an organization system. For my parties on the go, I like to have a roll-up bag for each, for my skincare, for everything that I use goes here in this, okay? Right now I'm doing everything online, so it's not really in there right now. And then I also keep a roll-up bag for all my separate, my other skincares right here. My Clear Proof, my Repair, Time Wise Naturally, MK Men, Botanicals, so that I can use it and get it real quick and easy. Here's my workstation for like orders that are being shipped. I have my scale. This one needs to be shipped here. Got it here. It's hard to show you right now.
I know, you're doing great.
Here's my normal to dry. My kids made this system where they put a pink star where normal to dry packs go. So they have packs in here ready for me to grab and put in the lookup. The final copy looks like this. This is what I sent in the mail for 95-cent stamp. Works real slick. They put a purple star for my combination oily packs. So we've got that there. My kids make up the packs so I can just pop them in. Okay. This is my tote for my, these two are my totes for my online Facebook parties. I'm doing so many now. So like, I'm trying to make this like not. That's the one I use for everything I'm showing. everything I'm putting on, the skincare, the charcoal mask, everything. Okay. My little prize bucket's even in there. Everything's ready to go. So I can just grab it and do that facial real quickly. All the products I showcase during it, I keep in this one because, you know, I want to showcase my products and have them fill up that big sheet. Brenda, I just hung my bags. I put these cute little lip hooks up for my bags.
Oh, those are so cute.
And then my toolie is here. And I also have, I'm going to be having a fragrance just sitting here so I can spritz the bags before I give them to people. I already sold a fragrance. Right now, my organization is, my orders are just strewn out about, these are things I need to send out. These are things I need to work on. So in order from left to right, what I need to order or what I need to work on and send out. In my office, I also have a display of the starter kit because I want people to see the starter kit and what they can get. And anytime I'm Zooming with people, I can just come over here and be like, this is what you get in a starter kit. And then, of course, because I'm a director, we have our goal sheets for our Monday nights. So, Red Thread, if you're on tonight, we'll be talking about those tonight too. Okay. And then I have a really large inventory, but I like it a lot. And there are some people who feel like if they don't have inventory, they get.
Let's see, I think Barbie is frozen unless I am frozen. Not sure. Let's see. Barbie, are you there?
Hear me.
Okay, you just.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Oh. I think you're frozen again. Unless I'm frozen. I don't know. Okay, it's Barbie. Okay, we'll try this. Oh. I'm so appreciative of Barbie doing this because if you weren't on earlier, if you didn't hear, the internet in my house is not strong enough, so I can't broadcast from there. Okay.
Okay, got it. Anyway, I like to have inventory. It makes me feel happy. All right.
Love it. Okay. So thank you all for being on today. Team building. I do recommend that you do some practice sharings with myself and with Barbie. That's a great way for you to learn how to share. And so when you run into someone who's interested, that you can do it without us, and then we can follow up, with you. But sharings, we've got, to say to someone real quickly, you could say, hey, the next step of my training is for me to learn how to share about Mary Kay, the facts at no obligation. And my sales director challenged me to observe her share with 5 of my friends. Is there any reason why we couldn't get your feedback? It can be as simple as that. And it doesn't mean they're interested, but it means they're willing to help you with your training. And I don't like to say the word help. If you notice, I didn't say that. Again, I'll say, Annie, the next part of my training is for me to learn how to share the fun facts about Mary Kay at no obligation. And my sales director has challenged me to observe her share with 5 of my friends and family. Is there any reason why we couldn't get together? Is there any reason why I couldn't get your feedback? And then you're quiet and you wait for a response. And that can be as simple as them watching a video and thus doing a follow-up in about 25 minutes. Or it could, so the video that Barbie has, I know, or I have, is very complete, and mine's like 30 minutes. If they do that way, then our follow-up is basically getting the feedback on the video and getting to know them more. Or another way would be doing it all live together as a 3-way phone call or on Zoom. I prefer to do them as 3-way phone call because I prefer to be able to work from my home and not have to travel out of my home to talk about Mary Kay. So Zoom is fine to do too if we schedule it. Or face-to-face if you're local to me, that's even better. So are there any questions? Thank you guys. I know we held you over a few minutes here today, but I hope that this was helpful. Congratulations, Michelle, with your party tonight. I know that's going to go fabulous. And congratulations, Mary Lou, for your launch party tomorrow night. I am super excited to be a part of both of those. It's been a joy, Tiffany, seeing you face to face, and congratulations on your party. And I know we're going to schedule another one to do together too. Brianna, so nice to meet you face to face. Thank you for being here. Very excited to see you and where you take your business. And Carly, oh my gosh, so nice to reconnect. Just love you, girl. And Heather too. I'm so glad to see you guys because I do know Carly and Heather, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait. You know, we've got now 40 days, basically 40 days of this seminar year left. The seminar year ends June 30th. So this is the time to really put out all the steps, because Barbie is your sales director. You guys have unit goals and we have unit goals. And so this is the time. And oh my gosh, if you're to commit now to holding appointments consistently, wow, you're going to build momentum going into the new seminar year. And so this is crazy fun time right now. And I think people are really in the mood to connect and to try product, and we've got it. The new summer line is fantastic. Any final questions? And Barbie, anything you'd like to share?
I have a question for Brianna. Is that red threads behind you?
No, it's not, but it actually was the inspiration. All I did was type in a red background in Google, and as soon as I saw this one, I was like, oh, it's perfect.
Our unit is called the Red Thread Unit, so that's why I was wondering. No, thanks so much for being here, and thanks for investing time this morning in yourself. And to my unit, it was super short notice, so the fact that the people that are here, I really appreciate that you took the time. Thank you.
Awesome. So if there aren't any other questions, thank you so much for being a part. And if you haven't watched all the training videos of the new consultant training, or you haven't watched them lately, there's 5 videos on my new consultants. Barbie's got videos. So use the resources you have. Use that Great Start app. Michelle and Mary Lou, particularly, that tracks your Great Start, how much you have to go, and there's training in there. Use the resources available. If you haven't done Mary Kay University, do that. And the different Skincare Confident, Clinical Solutions Confident, Color Confident are all courses you can take from Mary Kay. Thank you so much for being here. And I can't wait to see you guys move up. It's exciting. And thanks for being a part of our unit and unit. So have a great rest of your day, y'all.
Thank
Thank you.